Hallo allerseits, LP und willkommen zu Part 2 vom Soul Reaver 2 Let's Play. Ja, wir haben das Tor ja schon mal aufgemacht hier, unter Wasser, und jetzt können wir durchschwimmen, jawohl. Ein Hoch auf Rahabs Fähigkeit, ne? Boah, also ich weiß ja nicht, wie es bei euch aussieht, aber boah, der Bildschirm ist schon ziemlich dunkel, ne? Der ist sehr dunkel. Und ich habe übrigens auch inzwischen nachgeschaut. Ja, es gibt wohl in Soul Reaver 2 keine sammelbaren Gegenstände. Ist auch interessant. Aber gut, dann kann man immerhin nichts verpassen. Ist ja auch etwas, ne? Ist ja auch keine schlechte Sache.
These ancient obelisks were mysteriously attuned to my spiritual essence. By simply touching the symbol, I could safely preserve an imprint of my soul, and thus create a milestone to which I could return when weary, and from which I could resume my journey.
Das sind also die Speicherpunkte oder Speicheraltare. Okay. Ja, machen wir das. Überschreiben. Das war damals nur zum Anspielen. Ab dem Zeitpunkt übrigens ist es jetzt, ja, für mich blind. Jetzt habe ich keinen Plan, wo ich hinlaufe. Okay, ja, wird schon schief gehen, ne? Was haben wir hier? Irgendwas sagt mir, das wird erst später relevant. Ah, ja gut. Erstmal dahin.
While I had only just escaped the stronghold, I sensed that in time my journey would return me full circle to this place. Infiltrating the fortress, however, would be no small feat. The balcony that had provided my escape was now well beyond my reach, leaving this massive gateway as the only means of entry. The gates were sealed, but like the time-streaming chamber I had seen earlier, their operation was undoubtedly linked to that odd crystal mounted above the entrance.
Ja. Da wissen wir ja schon mal Bescheid, wo es dann relativ Ende, ja, oder relativ zum Ende dann wieder hingeht. No, thank you. Tasty. Lecker Schmecker. Okay, ja, langsam cringe, ne? Aber Mann. Ob sie wohl alle einen einzigartigen Geschmack haben? Solche Fragen stellt man sich um 2 Uhr nachts. Okay, nee. Aber, ja. Das ist ein interessanter Gedanke, ob für Raziel, ob die ganzen Seelen vielleicht auch wirklich irgendwelche Geschmacksrichtungen haben. Aber, ja, ist es auch. Okay, der Kollege, der ist, glaube ich, oder die Kollegin, die ist ein bisschen hinüber. Ja, ein bisschen kaputt. Oh, der Bengel. Okay. So eine Handkanone oder was? Was ist das? Ja, hast du den falschen ausgesucht, Kollege? Eigentlich können wir die ja skippen, ne? Wir haben keinen Grund, die zu bekämpfen. Ja, wisst ihr was? Screw it. Vergessen wir die. Das erste könnt ihr leben. Ich mache jetzt einen Pseudo-Speedrun. Was? Die haben auch Hunde. Du Hund. Ei. tolle Stelle. Ja. Erstmal gespawnshoppt werden. Super. Ja, der Kampf war ein bisschen für die Katz. Ein bisschen. Mhm. Oh, was ist hier? Nichts noch Relevantes. Okay. Ja gut. Weiter geht's Richtung Nordwest. Gut, dass wir hier so einen Kompass haben, ne? Oben links. Oben rechts ist nichts, also perfekte Stelle für die Facecam. Ah, hier ist wieder so ein Checkpoint. Okay, okay. Oh, ist wieder so ein Hund. Du Hund. Das ist ein Draggadem, interesting. Oh, Horror. Ja, passiert. Wir haben 2 Wege zur Auswahl. Was gibt's hier? Ach, nee. Nee, warte. Okay. Okay, wir haben nur einen Weg. Hier geht's nur zurück. Yep, es fängt schon an, ne? Es geht los mit den Fails. Hier haben wir nichts. Nee, dann... Ja, geht's wohl hier hin zu den Dings hier, zu den Säulen, ne? Ich mag es wieder sehr oft nah zu sagen, ne? Müsste ich mir vielleicht ein bisschen abgewöhnen. Was sind die Dinger? Time will tell.
These vampires had nothing in common with the deranged jackals I left behind in Kane's derelict empire. They seem to retain much of their former humanity. In this era, vampires were clearly not the uncontested predators we had been. These creatures were hunted mercilessly and oppressed. And while I still believed that vampirism was a plague and had to be wiped out, there was nothing noble or righteous in this crusade. This was simply ruthless persecution.
Ui. Er will's wissen. Wir haben dir die Chance gegeben, dein Leben hier zu leben, aber du hast es gerade eben weggeworfen. Deine Seele auch. Du hast nicht deine Seele verkauft, du hast deine Seele verbraucht. Oh. Du willst wissen. Tolle Stelle. Das Gute ist immerhin, wir bekommen relativ viel wieder zurück. Ne? Das hängt wieder an. Ja, sorry. Ich schätze mal, wir müssen erstmal den Kollegen aus dem Weg schaffen. Oder die Kollegin. Ja. Ja, ein bisschen pingelig die Hitbox, ne? Ja. Oh, die Musik. Kommt ja die Cutscene, die ich denke, die kommt?
The pillars of Nosgoth, pristine, whole, and uncorrupted. I had never beheld them in this undefiled state, yet something profound and indelible resonated within me at the sight. And there, waiting at the very heart of the pillars, was the canker that was destined to destroy them.
I know you're there, Raziel.
Mobius led me to you, Cain, though I might have guessed you'd meet me here.
And if Mobius told you I was hidden on the underside of hell, would you throw yourself into oblivion to pursue me? Mobius trawls for the ignorant and unwary, hauling his gasping prey from the streams of their destinies. Stay out of his net, Raziel.
Spare me your elaborate metaphors, Cain. I have pursued you here for one purpose. You will pay for your betrayal, and balance will thus be restored to Nosgoth.
And whose will is satisfied then? The will of Raziel or Mobius?
Would I be better manipulated by you, Cain? Now, turn and face me. The chase is over.
This isn't a chase, Raziel. We are merely passengers on the wheel of destiny, describing a perfect circle to this point. We've been brought here for a reason. I've seen the beginning and the end of our story, however, and the tale is crude and ill-conceived. We must rewrite the ending of it. You and I.
Face me, Cain. Even you shouldn't die a coward's death.
Isn't it customary to grant the condemned a final request?
I recall no such courtesy from you.
Indulge me, Raziel. All I ask is that you listen. This is the sublime moment of our undoing, Raziel. The ineffable fulcrum upon which swings the entirety of our history. This is where all of Nosgoth is betrayed. In this instant, Ariel, the Balance Guardian, is murdered by dark forces bent on overthrowing the pillars. Her spirit is just now tearing free, lost in the ether, trying to find its way here. You have already seen how she comes to haunt these pillars.
Bound here by your refusal to die. You are the reason this land becomes diseased. As long as you remain alive, you condemn Nosgoth to an eternity of decay.
Be still, Raziel. See this. As Ariel dies, I am being born to take her place as Balance Guardian. Such is my destiny.
My God.
At the moment of my first cry, Ariel's beloved, the Guardian Nupraptor, finds her corpse. Racked with grief and tormented by suspicions of treachery, Nupraptor plunges into a madness which overflows and infects all of the Guardians who are symbiotically bound, including me. The repercussions of Ariel's assassination were expertly calculated. The entire circle descends into madness, and I am tainted at the moment of my birth, instantly rendered incapable of fulfilling the role destiny has prepared for me.
Shall I show you the same mercy you showed the rest of the circle, then? You blithely murdered them to restore their pillars, yet your hand faltered when it came to the final sacrifice. What makes you exempt, Cain? You're merely the last man standing. Why condemn me for simply carrying out what you hadn't the courage to do yourself?
Let's drop the moral posturing, shall we? We both know there's no altruism in this pursuit. Your reckless indignation led you here. I counted on it. There's no shame in it, Raziel. Revenge is motivation enough. At least it's honest. Hate me, but do it honestly. 30 years hence, I am presented with a dilemma. Let's call it a two-sided coin. If the coin falls one way, I sacrifice myself and thus restore the pillars. And as the last surviving vampire in Nosgoth, this would mean the annihilation of our species. Mobius made sure of that. If the coin lands on the reverse, I refuse the sacrifice and thus doom the pillars to an eternity of collapse. Either way, the game is rigged.
We agree then that the pillars are crucial and must be restored.
Yes, Raziel. And that's why we've come full circle to this place.
So after all this, you make my case for me. To end this stalemate, you must die so that new Guardians can be born.
Pillars don't belong to them, Raziel. They belong to us.
Your arrogance is boundless, Kane.
There's a third option. A monumental secret, hidden in your very presence here. But it's a secret you have to discover for yourself. Unearth your destiny, Raziel. It's all laid out for you here.
You said it yourself, Kane. There are only two sides to your coin.
Apparently so. But suppose you throw a coin enough times. Suppose one day it lands on its edge.
Ja, das vergessen viele gerne, ne? Eine Münze hat streng genommen 3 Seiten. Die dritte ist die Kante. Also wir müssen uns wörtlich die Kante geben, ne? Bei der Münze. Ja. So kann man es auch sehen.
I didn't know what impulse stayed my hand. Why I had so willingly allowed Kane to escape me when I had pursued him for so long. I had no reason to trust Kane after he had valued me so little. And yet, I found myself intrigued by his words. I had been too cruelly used to so gullibly play his pawn. But if this world truly had secrets to divulge, I was determined to expose them.
Sehr verdächtig, dass hier das Shift-Glyph gezeigt wurde, ne? Ja, okay. Ist nicht ohne Grund da. Oh ja. Ah, Sluax, die Kollegen. Ob die wohl gut schmecken? Ich bezweifle es ja mal. Und weil ich es gerade gesehen habe mit diesen Totenschädeln hier, als Seelen hier, das hat ja mal ein Zuschauer geschrieben in einem Soul Reaver Part. Also von meinem Let's Play hier, versteht sich. In der Soul Reaver 1 Beta, da waren wohl die Seelen wohl früher auch diese Totenschädel. Also, ja, interesting, ne? Dass sich Teile von der Soul Reaver 1 Beta in die Vollversion von SR2 hier, ja, reinprogrammiert haben. Gut, wechseln wir. Wechseln wir wieder zur Materialebene.
From the moment of my arrival, I had the constant and palpable sensation of being watched. Someone, it seemed, was keenly interested in my presence here.
Oh mein Gott, es ist Hugin. Odins Raben. Ja, aber schon lustig, ne, dass es auch hier Raben sind. Oder Krähen. Eigentlich müsste ich endlich mal nachgoogeln, was der Unterschied zwischen einer Rabe und einer Krähe ist. Ja, wäre vielleicht nicht schlecht. Und der Soundtrack gerade eben. Oh. Wie damals im ersten Soul Reaver. Nices Easter Egg, mehr oder weniger. Sieht ein bisschen wie ein Dschungel aus hier. In the jungle, the mighty jungle.
From the look of it, this door had been sealed for centuries. I began to realize it was no mere coincidence that I found myself standing here, beneath this winged figure with blue skin and cloven hands so like my own, and bearing this unique key.
Tja, was wir da wohl reinstecken müssen, hm?
And so it was with a sense of gravity and trepidation that I unsealed that ancient door and crossed the threshold.
Mhm. Sieht aber sehr interessant aus und Oh. Das waren nicht solche, ne? Nee. Ja, weil Menschen nicht schwer genug waren. Jetzt kommen Monster, so wie es aussieht. Zumindest sahen die aus wie Monster. Es ist so dunkel, ich erkenne hier kaum etwas. Ja doch, sehen aus wie Nicht-Menschen. Das auf jeden Fall. Und die haben... Ach, die haben keine Seelen zum Verspeisen. Ja, das ist nicht gut. Wir können uns nicht regenerieren, falls was ist. Okay. Ich hoffe, das wird kein Problem darstellen. Okay, wieder die Frage, müssen wir die bekämpfen? Hey, geh weg mit deinem Mundgeruch. Gönn dir Colgate oder so, oder Listerin. Oder geh zum Zahnarzt, noch besser. Gönn dir mal so eine richtig professionelle Zahnreinigung.
As I entered the chamber, I sensed that it had been sealed for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. And while this room was clearly built when the pillars were erected, I knew that no human hand could have shaped this place, and that perhaps it had never been seen by human eyes. The surrounding murals depicted a winged race, their features so like my own, but beautiful, where mine were grotesque, and angelic, while mine were demonic. I tried to decipher these images. A great war, but with combatants like none I had ever seen. The pillars, raised by this winged race, who thus defeated their adversaries. The winged beings again, writhing in agony, apparently afflicted with the same bloodthirst I had so recently suffered. And throughout the chamber, inscribed everywhere, images of the Reaver itself. Was this what Cain had urged me to discover? I wondered.
Lies, Raziel. Do not be deceived.
Ah, my ancient benefactor. And I dared to hope we had parted ways forever. The silence was refreshing, but it lasted. No doubt you have a conveniently inexpressible reason for your presence here.
Do not be insolent, Raziel. I am eternally present here and everywhere, now and always. I am the still center of the turning wheel, the hub of this world's destiny.
But perhaps not so omnipotent as you'd have me believe. Your hold on me appears to be tenuous. I no longer seem to need you. Yet I'm guessing you still need me.
This impudence is unworthy of you, Raziel. Do not forget that you have a task to fulfill here. You are indebted to me.
Indebted? You would have me show gratitude for a gift I didn't ask to be bestowed. Do you forget that you forced me to inhabit this vile carcass?
I restored you to yourself, Raziel. It was Cain who destroyed you. The very enemy you've just let slip through your grasp. Do not fail me, my servant.
I serve no one. Not you, not Cain, and not your lackey Mobius.
Mobius is my good servant. I have many.
And if I tell Mobius that he's worshipping a giant squid, do you think his faith will falter?
You have grown willful, Raziel. But beware. To embrace a serpent is to invite poison into your heart. Cain is a sinuous beast. He will seduce and deceive you. You pride yourself on your free will, yet you let that degenerate deter your resolve.
I harbor no illusions about his integrity, nor anyone else's. In fact, I am beset by manipulation on all sides. I merely seek the truth.
These are the fathomless truths, Raziel. The agony of birth and death and rebirth. This is the wheel of fate, the purifying cycle which sustains all life. Vampires are an abomination, a plague which leeches this land of its spiritual strength. They obstruct the flow of life and death. Their souls stagnate in their wretched corpses. But the wheel must turn. Death is inexorable and cannot be denied. Your destiny is irresistible, Raziel. You are my soul Reaver, the scourge of the vampires, reaper of their apostate souls. Remain steadfast, end the vampire's parasitic curse, and restore Nosgoth. Cain's blood belongs on your hands.
Cain indeed deserves to die for condemning me to this repugnant form. But if and when I kill him, it will be for me alone to decide.
Cain destroyed you without a flicker of remorse. He tore the soul from your noble corpse, and after you had served him faithfully for 1,000 years, he discarded you in the abyss on a jealous whim. Remember your rage, Raziel. Let it guide your hand.
Ja. Aber ja, schon lustig, wie Raziel den Eldergott, wenn man ihn so nennen kann, zusammengefasst hat. Ein riesen Oktopus, ein riesen Tintenfisch. Perfekt. Ja, so. Ja, mal schauen. Gut, es ist nicht mal eine halbe Stunde, aber ich bin mir nicht sicher, wann der nächste Speicherpunkt sein wird. Deswegen, zugegeben, ist es auch schon ziemlich spät, nach Mitternacht. Naja, ich würde sagen, ja, ich beende mal hier den Part sicherheitshalber, für den Fall der Fälle. Und ja, dann seid auf jeden Fall gespannt auf den nächsten Part. Und wie immer, bis zum nächsten Video. Bis dahin, see you.